Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the 87th Annual World Trade Week Breakfast. You know, this is an event that celebrates global trade, and it celebrates all of those involved in that process, as well as those that are going to be involved. I want to thank, before I get into my comments, a couple of people. And first, I want to thank Carlos Valderrama, who is the Chamber's representative for global trade and exports, for his support. And I really want to thank Jasmine Gonzalez. You know, Jasmine Gonzalez really has done a tremendous job with this event for years, and this one is no different. But she does just an absolutely phenomenal job. She makes being the chair of this event really easy to do. So I just want to thank her personally, and I think we should all give her a hand of her efforts. I'd also like to introduce the vice chair, and he will become the chair for next year's event, and that is Ken Miranda. Miranda, if he could stand, Ken. Owens & Minor. Ken is the head person for Owens & Minor in the western U.S. area here in California. And again, I want to thank everyone for their support in getting this event up and going today. I'd like to thank everyone for joining the event today and your continued support of global trade. You know, I'm honored to be this year's World Trade Week chair for the greater Los Angeles area. And I want to commend Gary Tobin and the Los Angeles Area Chamber of Commerce for its continued support of global trade and its investments in that environment in Los Angeles. You know, last year, Commissioner Valerie Velasco spoke about how the global economy is interconnected and that businesses today are offered great opportunities for growth overseas. And you know what? I completely agree. Let me talk about a few of the things that support these statements. You know, in 2012, the free trade agreements with South Korea, Panama, and Colombia were implemented. And these agreements allow U.S. companies to strengthen their strategies by expanding, you know, into these markets and by gaining easier access to an expanded customer base. You know, one of the key things that I'll tell you about the agreement, particularly with South Korea, is that, you know, currently wine growers have been trying to get into that market for years in California. You know, if you go there, you won't find American wine in South Korea. You'll find European wine. So when you talk about the importance of something like that to the California economy and to Los Angeles, which are interconnected, I think you can see the benefit. You know, with less than 5% of the world's population in the U.S., the business opportunity for growth is clearly, you know, outside our borders. You know, markets like Chile, Turkey, and Russia, all countries listed in the top 10 in retail e-commerce list of emerging markets, must be considered as you are at your planning tables. You know, markets like China, where it's projected that there will be 220 million middle-class households by 2025, and that's 4 times what it was in 2004. You know, India, where the middle class is projected to make up 90% of the population by 2041, is 1 billion people. 90% of the population will be moving in the middle market or in the middle class, and that's 1 billion people. In total, the emerging middle class is projected to increase spending to $20 trillion per year in the next decade. This is double what the U.S. spends today. And the real question you have to ask is, does your company's strategy align with these facts? If only 1% of U.S. companies export, are we positioned to take advantage of the emerging markets? You know, the fact is, American-made goods and services are still the most highly sought-after products in the world. And expanding America's footprint means expanding global trade. You know, in my role at UPS, I meet with many companies in Southern California, and the one topic I always discuss with them is their international growth and expansion plans. And when I sit down with the CEOs and CFOs and CFOs of these companies, we sit down and we take a look at where their plans are going and what markets are in demand for their products. And we discuss resources like commercial services, trade missions, local consulates, and of course, UPS's ability to assist them in their strategies. And I'm a firm believer in the more you know, the more you grow. And whether you're a business or a person, I encourage each of you to look beyond the U.S. and utilize the other 95% of this world's population to grow your business and to provide economic growth to your company and to Los Angeles. And to make this point come home just a little better, I have a couple of slides that I'd like to share with you. And we're going to look at slide 1 first. And, you know, if you were a business and you were in Shenzhen in 1980, this is the environment that your business would have entered into. And I don't really care what that business is, whether it's medical equipment or technology equipment, doesn't really matter. Had you been there, you would have participated in the transformation and growth of that environment, because today it looks like this. And in 2012, Shenzhen has certainly emerged, and the question is, are you positioned to take advantage of this effect in other nations? You know, at UPS, our founder, Jim Casey, who founded our organization in 1907, said later in 1954 that our horizon is as distant as our mind's eye wishes it to be. So expand your horizon and expand your mind's eye. I want to thank you again for joining us this morning. And I will turn the program over at this point to Tracy. Thanks so much.